happens to me.
I see where I missed 2 or 3 of them.
Turned it off for the meeting.
Turned it off 4 days ago.
I know. And everybody asks me, well, why don't you answer your phone?
There are some chairs up front. We have 2 minutes.
He's the guy there, with the white hair. The second guy on the over. Guy in the red, guy in the...
By the way, we don't have money for marketing to promote other than golf, which brings in revenue. We've got to have walking trails.
I call the meeting of the Board of Directors of the Property Owners Association to order at 6 p.m. Madam Secretary, may I have roll call, please?
Yes. President Sislo,
Present.
Vice President DeRusso,
Present.
Treasurer Blackwood,
Present.
Secretary Burgoyne, ex officio Becker,
Present.
Director Griffey,
Present.
Director LaFontaine,
Here.
Director Lee,
Present.
Director Nutting,
Here.
Director Pino,
Present.
and Director Tubbs.
Present.
All,
We have a
Director.
quorum.
yes.
Will you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Secretary, approval of minutes, please?
Yes.
Could I make a motion that we dispense with the reading of the minutes?
I will second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye. Yep.
No one's opposed. We'll dispense of reading the minutes. So I need a motion to approve the minutes of September 15th.
I'll make that.
Okay, second?
Second.
Okay, those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay. Approval of minutes for September 29th special meeting. A motion, please. Giarusso, second. Tubbs, thank you. All those in favor? Those opposed? Thank you very much. We appreciate the expediting this meeting. Some of us are trunk or treat fans. President's report. Over the past month, we've had several actions to move the POA forward with
Pardon me, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
We missed something on the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. I did miss that. The Vice President was supposed to help me with that, but he didn't get a chance to. May I have a motion to approve the meeting agenda?
I have a motion to amend the meeting agenda.
Okay. Anyone want to second that motion? Mr. Russo seconds the motion to amend it, and how would you like to amend that?
What is on the agenda as 2025-39 was a motion that I intended to be on the regular agenda. It concerns an offer from a POA member to purchase the maintenance yard and continue to operate it as a maintenance yard. It's the same end result as donating to the city, except he would pay us some money.
Okay,
So I move for that motion be on the regular agenda.
Okay. That motion has been seen by members of the board in written form, so we would make motion 2539 be a motion to remove the maintenance yard from the list of amenities, instruct the staff to move forward with closing. All those in favor of amending the agenda, raise your hand, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those opposed? 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like it's passes with a 6-4.
Okay, so
Okay? You ready?
I just needed the names of the ones that opposed.
LaFontaine, Nutting, Griffey, Becker. Thank you,
Becker.
Bill. Okay, so we've amended the agenda to include that proposal.
Did y'all speak more clearly and speak into your microphones? It's like nothing down here.
Certainly, thank you very much. This is a problem. We do need to speak very close to our microphones, and we're not good at that.
Thank you.
Now it's time for the president's report instead of me jumping ahead. So I'll start again. Over the past month, there have been several actions by the board to move the POA forward toward its vision. Since the motion to offer selected amenities for sale at the last meeting was not supported, we had a special meeting that was held on September 29th, and you saw that we approved those minutes. At that meeting, it was decided to seek membership input into the transfer of the amenities to the city. We did that non-binding survey, and it was completed on October 15th in time to be used tonight to guide the next step in divesting the POA of properties it can no longer support. As you may recall, the board has a mandate from the initial takeover agreement to maintain the amenities and related properties as they were given to the property owners. That is a very difficult thing to do with limited funds. Since the Purcell Group has right of first refusal for any sale we consider, and there are many legal details to be determined if transfer is approved, we are using legal counsel to assure that the correct steps are taken. Action on the transfer of these amenities and the use of legal counsel is on the agenda tonight, as you can see. Also, after the September meeting, right afterwards, an executive session was held to discuss the organization's financial status. At that time, the board approved raising the dues to keep the organization solvent while the future of the organization is developed. The dues increase was announced early in the hopes that we would better determine the financial landscape for 2026. Thank you to those dedicated members who have already paid their dues early. That's helping us. Those of you who would like to continue would be greatly appreciated. There have been concerns expressed about the increase, but this mandate to maintain what amenities we have and the continued reduction of payments by property owners whose covenants have expired have led to this decision. The remainder of the budget will be approved soon, but seeing who will pay dues will help us plan the most balanced budget we possibly can in these tough times. On top of all this, we're also facing increasing costs to provide service and pay insurances just as everyone else is. We will find a way through this, but these are really hard times. There are many challenges for us to develop fully what 2026 will look like. We are truly doing the best we can to face these challenges. In the end, I think we all want our wonderful Diamond Head to remain. Now we need committee reports, please. Director Pino?
I have nothing to report for the Marina Airport Committee. The Amenity Committee, I guess I really don't have anything to report other than the fact that with respect to amenities, we have this motion regarding a purchase of the maintenance yard that we'll talk about.
Thank you. Director Tubbs?
The rec committee did not meet this month. My fault, I was out of country for a good portion of time. Did want to take a moment, though, on behalf of the rec committee to just give appreciation and thanks to Rick and team for Fall Fest. Attended that. It's one of the best weekends in Diamond Head, and the team, both in the club and the organizers, did an awesome job. So appreciate what everybody does to make that happen each year.
Thank you. Director LaFontaine?
The House Committee met on Thursday, October the 2nd. It was a very brief meeting. We received the General Manager's report on the financial performance and status of personnel. Lawn pairing dinners and bourbon and bites have been very successful and very well attended. The new menu was rolled out and has been, at this point, well received by the members. And the next committee meeting will be November the 6th.
Okay, thank you. Director Stewart?
I will defer to the committee chairs.
Thank you. Director Griffey, anything to report?
Nothing to report.
Vice President Giarrusso?
Nothing to report.
Madam Secretary?
Nothing to report.
Mr. Blackwood?
Nothing to report.
Director Ex Officio Becker?
Nothing to report.
Okay, and how about Director Lee?
The Golf and Grounds Committee did meet on October 1st. However, it was a brief meeting, and the main topic of there was the rates for the golf memberships for the upcoming year, and that was pretty much the extent of the meeting.
Okay, thank you very much. General Manager's report, please.
Good evening, everybody. The financials for September were good. As I had said earlier, the fall months and the early 26 months are very busy with golf outings and events, and we had a great September. Revenue for the month was $724,000 against expenses of $644,000. That gave us $80,000 positive in operational expenses, and the P&L was $16,000 positive, including depreciation. That's the first time since I've been here, I believe, that we've had a positive month on the P&L and the operation expenses. The September revenue was in line with previous months, but expenses were down mostly from golf course maintenance. This time of year requires less cutting, a little less maintenance, and we were able to cut expenses down $44,000. Bank balance is now at $383,000, which is a little healthier. However, this includes funds from the 2026 dues payers that have already paid. I do expect to have the last 3 months positive, but cash flow is still a concern. October's a 3-pay period month, so October's going to be a little bit expensive, about $135,000 for each pay period, and we continue to wait on our COVID check. Revenue has been stable, but we're advertising to increase restaurant sales. On September 23rd, Tanya and Mikey were featured on the WLOX 4 o'clock show, where they highlighted dishes that would be served at the Bourbon and Bites event. Well received, good advertising, great for business. And on October 2nd, we had Ann Petrie. She's a freelance restaurant writer for the South Mississippi Living magazine. She came in, tried our food, she loved it, loved the facility and the team. This review will be in the November issue of Southern Mississippi Living magazine, so another good thing. Now, it's that time of year when we prepare for the 26 budget. So far, the P&L is $355,000 negative for the year. We've significantly reduced costs from last year, but we still need to increase revenue to balance the budget. Our goal is to create a budget this year that allows us to increase our cash on hand and spend on the needed capital improvement projects. A nominal increase in POA dues of about $20 a month is needed to get us fiscally sound. And this increase is right in line with the inflation rates post-COVID. So if you take the inflation rates post-COVID, add it to the old rate, it comes out to where the new proposed rate is, or actually new accepted rate is. I do encourage everyone to pay their fair share to maintain our resort lifestyle and keep our housing values up. We need your support. It's really important, guys, that as many people pay. I've heard a lot of conversation that, geez, you're increasing the dues because less people are going to pay, and that puts the burden on fewer people, and it does. And I'm sorry if that's the case, but I'm hoping that we still get more people to pay, and we get ourselves in a good financial position again. In terms of events, we had on October 8th, Cruise on the Coast. October 12th, the Fall Family Fun Day on the event lawn. October 18th, the club at Diamond Head Fall Fest. We had over 70 vendors there. Tonight we have Trunk or Treat. We had 2 major golf tournaments with CP4 and Wheel of Misfortune. We also hosted several outside golf events that supplement the cost of our membership. The Slavic event was 2 days. With over 200 golfers, we netted $32,000 for that event. We had the U.S. Kids Gulf Coast Invitational, Under Armour Junior Tour, Ohana Member, Fall Fest Scramble. McGrath Group came in with 92 players for 2 days. And then today we had the Gulf States PGA Pro-Am. Now let me say, these events are possible due to our great staff. The behind-the-scenes planning and the on-site management has been flawless. These teams work lots of overtime to make sure you have an event that you can enjoy. All of this takes resources and money. Upcoming events in the next month or so, in November, we have a jam-packed fall. November starts with our Sips and Giggles Ladies Night. We'll have a food special, certain drink specials every Tuesday night, 5 p.m. till close. At people's request, Bingo is back. We'll be doing that the first and third Tuesday of every month. Karaoke has been cut back to the first and third Thursday of every month. On the other Thursdays, given the season, we'll be promoting football as well as draft beer and burger specials. Our next wine pairing is on November 21st. Our next steak night is this Saturday. We have a Halloween costume party on Halloween night in Latitude with drink and food specials, costume contests, as well as the Tease Me band performing, and they're a great band. Halloween prefix dinner, Halloween night in the Oak Room. We're already starting to fill up, so get your reservations in as early as possible. On November 8th, we'll be defending its Best in Show trophy at the Buds and Beer competition, sponsored by the Hancock County Chamber of Commerce. Mikey, Tanya, Danielle, and Nancy will be there. On November 12th, the club will be participating in the Taste of Hancock County event. We'll be bring back popular dishes and serve to approximately 400 people. So we've got a pretty jam-packed fall. Things are going as well as possible, but guys, it's really tight. If we didn't have money coming in from the membership dues this year, we'd have been just about out of money. We were down to $135,000 at one point in the past month, so luckily we've come back. But understand, this practice of stealing the money, and I call it stealing the money, from one year to the next makes the next year more difficult. And we're doing that again this year. We're taking about $200,000 to $300,000 of 26 money in order to survive in 25. So we're going to have to build that into the budget again for this year in order to balance it. So that's all I've got. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do any board members have any questions for him?
Do you know where we are in the audits that were promised at the end of September?
I don't have an update today. I just know that the audits are completed and we're waiting for the report to come out. I don't have an update. They said by September we'd have it, and
Yeah, I heard September.
right. So I will follow up on that tomorrow.
Thank
Okay.
you.
I have a couple questions for
Yes.
you. Could you tell us what the status of our collections efforts are?
Yes. Collections efforts have yielded about between $30,000 and $40,000 year to date, and we just hired a person in-house to do collections as of last week.
Are we still using the outside counsel?
The outside counsel hasn't worked. We haven't been able to provide them with the information that they need in order to get the in order to get the collections. They need social security numbers and things like that, and that has not proceeded well.
So we're not going forward with the outside counsel?
I think we're going to try the inside. We've also put liens on all the properties that have outstanding balances. We've put 389 liens on properties.
There was some talk of getting a letter of credit. What's the status of that?
Letter of credit is done. I think it's waiting for Nancy.
Signatures? Okay. I haven't been notified exactly when, but I'm ready to sign.
Anytime.
Okay.
But it's been approved. We have a $350,000 line of credit now.
Why do we need a line of credit?
All businesses should have a line of credit.
Is there a particular need that we have for a line
There
of credit?
was until the dues came in. We were not going to be able to pay the bills for the rest of the year without that line of credit. We are now able to do it.
Will you come back before the board for authority to draw on that line of credit?
I don't know what the process is or the procedure is on that, but if that's the procedure, then we'll do that. Right now, we're in a position where we don't have to use it.
Okay. In 2025, a non-POA member could buy a golf membership, and with that came access to the pools and the club discount. Is that going to continue for 2026?
Yes.
I was looking through the schedule of fees, and it appears that a POA member can buy a pool pass for $65 a month and give it to a non-POA member. Is that correct?
I don't believe so.
Well, who do they give the POA? If they buy a POA pass, who do they give it to? Who uses it?
In a lot of cases, it's renters.
I'm not talking about a pool pass or the pool access for a renter. I'm talking about a pool pass, $65 monthly pool pass.
Bob, I can't answer that question, so I'll have to defer right now. I don't have the answer. I'd have to
Maybe
I'd have to look into it.
you can explore that and get back to him.
Yes.
Okay. Is there another
Well,
question?
when you look at that, what I'm seeing here, and I believe that a POA member can buy a pool pass and give it to a non-POA member, because who else would need a pool pass besides a non-POA member? And that non-POA member can then go to the pool without the POA member who bought the pass with them and just use the pool.
Yeah, again, I'm not that familiar with that part of the ruling, so, of the rules, so, again, I'll have to defer and
This
get
is something
back
that
to
would
you.
take effect in 2026, is that correct?
Well, there's
Yes.
pool passes today, but for 2026, the price is $65 for a month. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, the same thing applies today.
Yeah, again, I don't have the answers for you today.
Well, when you look at that, specifically look at this.
Bob, what's the point of talking about this if he doesn't have all the information? We're just wasting time.
Yeah, why don't we?
Think about this. Excuse me. Think about this. The pool pass is $65 a month. The pool season's roughly 6 months. So for 6 times $65, a non-POA member for $390 can get access to the pools, whereas a POA member must pay $900 for that privilege. Take a look at that, and I think you need to make some adjustments to that.
Well,
If that's the case, we'll make the proper adjustments, Bob. I just don't have the answer right
Okay.
now.
Is there going to be a revised 2026 schedule of fees that come out?
We will revise the schedule of fees when we, as we get, as needed, in order for the approval of the overall budget.
The 2026 schedule of fees, as it was issued, had a glitch, I think, on golf memberships between a POA member and a non-POA member. And I understand that was fixed,
Yes,
so it's going to be reflected in the new schedule?
yes.
Okay. Do we have a 5-year business plan?
No, we have a one-year business plan.
We have a 1-year budget,
That's what we have.
but we don't have a business plan.
We do not.
That's all the questions I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, thank you, Rick. Thank you very much. Do we have any POA member comments on agenda items?
We have several. First up is Jim Jelinski. I hope I said that correctly.
Jim, I'm going to give you 3 minutes on my clock. It'll beep off, okay?
I'll only need a few seconds.
All right.
Okay, my name is Jim Jelensky, 2346 Airport Drive. I've been a dues-paying POA member for 40 years, and given the present situation, this motion 2025-40 to convey these various things to the city, if they're willing to take them on and run them, I think that is the way to go. And that's it. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Next is Penny Crawford. Penny Crawford passes. Next is Ron Wheat.
And again, I'll give you 3 minutes, okay?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm a new resident here. I moved in September of 2024. And it's a little disconcerting to find that we have this situation. I came from Colorado to where not the POA, but the HOA dues continue to escalate. There's no guarantee that that's not going to happen, and it became cost prohibitive for a lot of people. The amenities that are available to us when I moved in was appealing. That's one of the things that brought my family here to stay for as long as I'm on this God's green earth. And I find it a little hard to swallow that the mistakes that were made in the past, which I find to be unacceptable, the elimination of the covenants so that these people don't have to pay. And what it seems to me is that with the additional money that's being asked of the property owners is to make up for the people that aren't paying. And that's unfair to begin with, unfair distribution. I have friends of mine in my neighborhood who want to pay their dues, but they have additional lots next to their house. They bought that for their privacy or for whatever purpose they need. The board is insistent upon having people pay not only for their domicile, but for the additional lots. These people would willingly pay for the lot that they have their house on, but are unwilling to pay for the additional lots, so you're going to lose money there. I think there should be some type of an agreement made or a concession made which would allow these property owners whose covenants have expired, if they're willing to pay for the lot where they live, that the other lots be dismissed. You're going to at least have some income. You may not have the income that you need or that you want or that you think you deserve, but I don't think you do, because again, the errors that were made in the past were egregious enough and stupid enough to where these things weren't put into perpetuity, and they should have been. So now you want us to have the burden fall on our backs to cover the people who made these mistakes. It may not have been you, but you've been put in this position. So I'm telling you that as a new resident, it's very disconcerting to find this neighborhood, this community, in this position with only a year under my belt. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much.
Next speaker is John Galladay.
Yeah, I'm John Galladay. I just wanted to clear up a couple of things. I assume that Rick, I gave him proposals on the maintenance facility, and I just assume that everybody got that's on the board, and I hope they did. And if you read the proposal, there's no changes going to be made. If the proposal says it will lease back to the city, and then it will make arrangements for the POA to be able to use some of the facility. So I just wanted to clear that up for everybody in case you didn't understand the way the proposal was written. But on the other hand, I don't think you need to give something away that's got some value to it. And, you know, if the city comes up to you and says, I want to give you $5,000 more than the offer, then you as a board need to take that. But don't throw the offer, and if you have plenty of money, different story. But don't throw the money away that you're going to have the opportunity to get. So I hope you take this under consideration really strong and don't just throw it out the window. And I don't have to have the property. the city, the smartest thing would be for the city to purchase the maintenance facility to you. But I do want to clear up that the maintenance facility will be available for the city and for the POA at no cost. Not for the city at no cost, but for the POA. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Our final speaker is Betty Perry.
And 3 minutes as well.
My name is Betty Perry, and we live on Crooked Stick. Been here 25 years, and I do support the POA. However, I would like for someone to explain to me how the Golf Academy works. It seems as though it consistently loses money.
At this time, we don't give answers, unfortunately. We just get to hear what your concerns are. This isn't time for us to have a dialogue. I'd be glad to talk with you a little bit afterwards.
Okay.
Or you could catch one of the other board members as well. Is there more that you'd like to say?
Okay, and the next one is a question, too, about the club and how it consistently loses money.
Again, we don't really have a chance to do a dialogue at this point in time. We're trying to have a meeting to get our agenda taken care of.
Okay, and my last one, I think somebody already spoke about it. Is there a way that we can figure out some way for the people that have multiple lots, either to pay, a higher rate or some other rate?
Okay, so you're saying
Because
that people with multiple lots should pay more or less?
Well, a little bit more maybe,
Okay.
not just, the full amount, but
Okay.
some, because that was a big complaint that I heard.
Okay. Thank you very much. Anything more?
Okay?
Thank you very
Okay.
much. We'll talk with you later.
Okay.
Is that all that we have on there?
That was it.
Okay, then we'll go to our regular agenda. The first motion, a motion to grant POA members paying annual dues a 15% discount on purchases of food and beverage and golf shop merchandise, and issue these members a membership card with an identifying color, and B, grant all additional POA members in good standing a 10% discount on purchases of food and beverage golf shop merchandise, and C, grant active military and first responders a 10% discount on purchases of food and beverage and golf shop merchandise. Who would like to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
LaFontaine, and second by Giarusso. Thank you. What discussion do you have?
The membership at the club has always been used to having a 15% discount. We have a large number of members that have been paying dues for the last 20, 25 years, some of them. And the only amenities they use are that club in their 15% membership. And they really deserve a little pat on the back for continuing to support everything, the club and the POA itself. And it's kind of a slap in the face for us to take that little 5% away from them, because it's the only really amenity or attaboy that they get. The military and first responder membership discount, we've had that on there for 15 years or so. And with the identifying color for the POA members that pay their dues by the year, that helps us in the club, because we have to verify whether you're a member in good standing or not. And we've tried the punch system, and it's been really cumbersome. So this was to speed up our service and help the wait staff quite a bit.
Okay, so this would be a continuation in some respects of the policy, but differentiate class of membership. If you pay annually, you get one level. If you are still a member in good standing by paying monthly, you would have a 10%. Okay.
What has happened, part of the budget for next year was to reduce the overall discount to 10% across the board.
Okay.
This is giving our older members and our annual dues paying members a little extra 5%.
Okay, anybody else have comments? Oh, sir.
That 5% amounts to $100,000 in income. If we don't, if we leave that number at 15%, we have to come up with $100,000 somewhere in order to balance the budget.
But we're only talking about a small number of individuals.
I understand, but we're talking about all the members of the country club.
So Rick, he's actually stating that the annual
The
payer,
annual payment.
right now, it's
Pay
a
full.
process that everybody gets 15%, whether you pay monthly or annually. His proposal is just for the annual payer,
But the annual payers are 68%, so that's
68,000.
a huge majority of the people. The 15% makes the restaurant look like it's losing a lot of money. It counts to $300,000, that 15%. We can't afford 15%.
Anybody else have some comments?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I see that in the schedule of fees for 2026, we have listed a 10% club discount, and it's listed there because we've already decided this once. I don't know why we're talking about it again. Our dues, I mean, we have to understand what this whole club discount really is. Our dues already subsidize food and drinks at the club. The club lost $29,000 last month, $270,000 for the year. If you include depreciation, the club lost $307,000 so far this year. The club stays open because our dues keep it open. It's a complete subsidy. So a non-POA member comes into the club and he buys a burger and beer for $20. He's getting it below market because it costs more than $20 for that burger and beer. And the money to make it whole, to make it work, to make the math work, comes from our dues. So POA members are paying for the guy in the kill or the non-POA member down the street to come in and have a $20 burger and beer at our place. Why are we doing that? If you want to give members more of a cash discount, I get that in a private club membership where everybody there is a member. But that's not what we have. Most of the people in that club are non-members, or a lot of them, significant amount, are non-members. I would only support going back to a 15% discount. I would be in favor of eliminating all discount, to tell you the truth. But I would only support the 15% discount if you take the actual cost of food and drink, you raise it 15 to 20%, and that's what a non-POA member spends. And then you give the POA member a 15% discount, so the POA member is now paying what our actual cost is, or perhaps just a little bit less. That's how a club discount should work. It shouldn't work like we use it, where you just give it flat out to people, whether they're members or, whatever. You're giving that extra 5% that you're talking about putting back on the table is $100,000 a year. We don't have the money. I don't know how this is not registering with people, but we're not broke, but we're darn near broke.
Thank you.
Well, Bob, you certainly have interesting statements, some of which are maybe true and some of which are potentially not true, but a benefit, a bonus, or a discount for the people that are loyal members is a reasonable thing to do. The cost of food has been set up such that it's going to make money, or closer to making money than it was before, but a person off the street should not have the same, should not get to pay the same as a member does. So I'm certainly in favor of a discount for the members. The 15% for a few of them might work. Financially, it sounds like it not, but it certainly should be a 10% discount at least for the people that are paying their dues. They need to get something for paying their dues. So the discount I'm in favor of.
Well, I would agree with that, but I think you have to raise the costs so the non-member is paying extra because he's not a member. Right now, the non-member is getting below market rate because our dues subsidize them, and that's what's wrong about it.
Well, we can raise the dues. We can charge $100 for a burger, and you're going to sell one a year. So you certainly have to be competitive with your food prices, and that's what our general manager has got us in line with, and the country club committee has got us in line with. You can only charge so much with a competitive market in town. So there's a limit to how much you can charge for things if you want to have people to come and eat at your joint.
So what you're saying is we're never going to show a profit in the club, which I think may be true. We've already been told that the expense reduction in terms of workforce and whatnot has been completed, which means you're not going to save money on the costs of the goods. The only way to balance the budget is to raise prices, and if you're saying we can't raise prices and we're done cutting costs, we are in some serious hurt.
If you want to Google, which is interesting, Google whether country clubs make profit. They mostly do not make a profit because of the way they're set up. Granted, we have to cut our losses, but country clubs are not set up to make profit. It's the model that it's designed for. It's to serve its members. Now, we can up our membership fees to $1,000 or $2,000, and we'd have lots of money to cover that. But people don't have to pay their dues because the covenant's expired. And to address that one gentleman's question, we tried everything in our power to get the covenants to continue after 1921. We tried legal and we tried the judicial way, the legislative way, and we could not get it done, so we're stuck with no covenants. It was short-sighted when it was signed in 1971, but it's there. But anyway, in order to cover everything, you can't make the expenses so high because no one would join. So it's a sticky wicket that you got to walk between to get this done.
Can I say something?
Please.
We already reported that we're going to lose $350,000. Anything that we don't, if we go from 15%, up to 15% from the 10%, and we have 70% of the people paying on an annual basis, it's going to be $70,000. So we're going to lose $420,000. So we need to talk about, can we operate this thing losing money every year? And we cannot.
And, no, ma'am, I'm sorry. We need to just let the board speak. I'm sorry. This is a very emotional time, but this isn't a community discussion. I'm really sorry. This is a board discussion, and we have some issues that we have to deal with. We have a budget that has to be approved, and we need to do that in a session where we can talk money. I don't think we can continue to debate this any more than realize the fact we're caught between a rock and a hard place. We want to encourage our members to be with us. We need all the members we can get, but we can no longer continue as a organization based on dues from landowners. We have got to change this thing, and we're going to go through a horrible time changing it, but it has to change. So we have to decide tonight whether we want to vote on this or not, and then we've got to go and get this budget resolved and go forward. If we spend all our time spinning our wheels here, we will never get the future figured out, and we've got to do that. So, any more comments, pro or con? Do you want to say something, Gary?
Yes, I've got a question. The part of it, and I'm in favor of giving active duty military and first responders a discount, but there were active or veterans who claimed they were getting the discount in the club, and there were military people who were bragging that they didn't have to pay their dues because they already got the discount for being in the military. So I think if we're going to have a discount for military and first responders, they can't be people who don't pay their dues, so they get the same deal as people who do pay their dues.
Okay.
The first responders and military have to either be in uniform or the military has to have active military.
I know that, but if they live in Diamond Head and just say, well, I'm not going to pay my dues because I'm already getting the discount, then I don't think that's right.
Okay, another interesting point. So, we've debated this motion, and the motion is in front of you. It's been made by Director LaFontaine and seconded. All those in favor of granting the 15% to those who pay dues annually, 10% discount to those who are members in good standing, and 10% discount for active military and active first responders, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, those opposed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so 7 no. The motion does not pass. Okay, motion 2539. This motion carries with it the potential to discuss not only finances, but terms of a contract, and we cannot discuss that in an open session. So, that's why we thought maybe we had to go to executive session. But Director Pinow, who put this together, said we will stick with this motion, which is the DHPOA shall remove the maintenance yard from the list of amenities to be donated to the city and instruct staff and council to move forward towards a closing of the purchase by Galladay of the maintenance yard. I'm assuming, Mr. Pienaar, you're making that motion?
That is correct.
And would someone second it? Trey did? Okay, what comments would you like to make? And let's keep it fairly brief.
Well, in deference to the member, who's the member in good standing who made this offer, I've told him that we wouldn't mention his name or the exact dollar figures involved, but we don't need to do those things for tonight. What you need to know is that a member in good standing recognized the possibility that the POA was going to donate the maintenance yard to the city for free, and he stepped up and said, look at it, it's got value, I'll buy it for X number of dollars, and it's multiple tens of thousands of dollars. It's significant money. And he would continue to lease it to the city as it's being done now, and he would let the POA continue to store some of its equipment that it stores there, as they do now. And so the only difference between what he is proposing as a purchase of the maintenance yard and what the city wants us to do, which is to give them the maintenance yard for free, the only difference is one would pay us money and one would not. The other end result would not be different.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody even knows what the maintenance yard is. Down at the end of Kapalama Drive, there is behind the trees and bushes, there is a yard that the city basically uses to store trucks and concrete and maybe a pile of dirt and that kind of stuff. And they pay the POA $1,000 a month for that privilege. That $1,000 a month was set back in, I think, 2019. The lease expired a couple of years after that, and it just continued month to month since then. We've never adjusted the rent. Why would we? So they're getting a sweetheart deal, but they don't even want to pay that. They want us to give it to them for free, and if we do give it to them for free, they get out of paying $1,000 a month. We don't collect the $1,000 a month, and we don't get any compensation at all for the maintenance yard. I think you've heard the flavor today here, which is the POA doesn't have a lot of money. The POA is cash poor. I can't repeat that strongly enough. We cannot pay our 2025 bills unless we collect 2026 dues, same as last year. This year it's worse than last year. It will be worse next year than it was this year. We have a letter of credit that we've applied for and that we have obtained, I guess. Have not drawn on it yet, but that's for one reason. That's to float you from month to month to pay the bills. And because of all of that, the dues are going up and fees are going up, and they're going to go up again.
Okay, I think the board talked about that. Is there anything new you want to add? We all have, I mean, you've said that.
This is for the members.
I know, but this is a board meeting for us, so.
This is a public board meeting for these members to understand what is going on in this POA.
Certainly.
I am not going to stop talking about this.
I'm sorry that you disagree with me, but this is
I'm not going to stop.
board meeting, and we need to move on.
I'm not going to rush through this so you can get to trunk or treat. This needs to be discussed in the open public meeting, and it's going to be discussed in an open public meeting.
It is.
Can I continue?
And has been discussed.
No, it has not been discussed.
I'm sorry, you have reiterated.
I'm going to
things
continue.
Repeatedly.
I'm going to continue. Ladies and gentlemen, we are circling the drain, and we have the opportunity to collect money for an amenity, and the board doesn't want you to even know that, let alone take that route and to do something that might bring us money.
I take offense to that statement.
Well, if you do or not.
Well, I do. And all you're doing is filibustering like you do every meeting.
When the POA is weak financially, which it is, it's in the best interest of the POA to get value for its assets if it's going to distribute assets.
Mr. Pino, could I comment?
No.
You're not done?
Mississippi Code 79-11-267 says, a director shall act in good faith belief that he is acting in the best interest of the corporation. Best interest of the corporation means the best interest of the POA, not the best interest of the city, not in the best interest of the community. The Mississippi Code for Nonprofits state that you must act in the best interest of the POA. It is the best interest of the POA to get some kind of compensation for a valuable amenity, especially when the minute we transfer it, we lose additional revenue from lease payments. If you turn down a cash offer to buy this amenity and instead giving it away to the city for free, you are acting in the city's best interest, not the POA's. A casual observer in this crowd would conclude that some of you on the board are representing the city, not the POA. So I think this motion should be granted. If it's granted, it's not going to make the sale today. The granting of the motion merely says we are going to discuss with the offeror the offer. We're going to move forward towards a hopeful closing, but there's final documents that need to be approved. The same exact process that would be used when the city, if we donate any assets, any amenities to the city. It's the same process. There's going to be a final document to review and be approved by the board. Same thing here.
Does this piece of property include the RV storage yard?
No, it does not. If you read his offer, he's looking for the maintenance yard. He referenced the parcel, which includes the maintenance yard and the RV yard together because they're combined under one parcel. But his offer is strictly for the maintenance yard.
So would you say that us giving away the community center that has substantial damage and needs a lot of money put into it, the airport that's probably going to need in the very near future, money put into it, maintenance for all of these things, do you think that's giving it away to the city? Giving them
This motion
hundreds of thousands of dollars in amenities that we're giving them?
Just to follow up on that point.
I can only answer one question at a time.
Okay, go ahead.
This motion discusses the maintenance yard. The maintenance yard is its own special animal. It's not an amenity. Members do not use it, never have used it, never will use it. I don't think most people know where it is, have ever been inside it. They never will. It is a maintenance, it's a commercial piece of property that's being leased to the city. That's what it is, and it has very little upkeep costs on our end. It has rent coming into us, which is a favorable thing, and now someone wants to buy it. He recognizes the value of it. It's a good investment for him because it's a very valuable piece of commercial property that should not be just given away because the city says they want it. That's not good enough.
And the city has passed a resolution that includes a group of properties that are non-revenue producing to us and costing us maintenance and property taxes. And if we vote to do this, then we send that back to the drawing board, and the city may not approve the whole deal, which would cost us a lot more money.
You do not know that. You're making assumptions. There's no basis to conclude that
It certainly would put it on hold until the city reviewed the whole thing again. It just wouldn't go forward.
We issued a vision statement in May of this year that said, here's the amenities we want to give away. This maintenance yard was not on that list. The city then, in response to our vision statement saying the amenities we'll give away, they said, well, here's what we want you to give to us for free, and they put the maintenance yard on it. We didn't put that on there.
Yeah, and they didn't want the airport, but they're taking that as a concession to us.
The airport was on their resolution.
Okay, sticking to this motion.
And it was also on ours, by the way.
Excuse me, I need to call the motion now. We've heard both sides.
No, there's some.
One more side you would
Sure.
like? Okay.
Yes. When Diamond Head was formed, all these things that we get to participate in were there. All we're doing is we own it. We own both of it. So we're going to sell something. We're going to sell something that we own. But if the city takes it, we still own it. All the amenities are going to stay as they are. We're just changing the landlords. Now, that piece of property, I tonight will offer twice as much as that lowball deal that's offered. That piece of property is worth 4 or 5 times more than what is offered, and it makes me very nervous why this is occurring, but be that as it may, that little bit of money that we're going to get for it is certainly not worth the detriment it might do, and I would be happy to offer twice as much, which I would never do because I think it should stay for us, the citizens of Diamond Head, whether it's the landlord is the city or the landlord is the POA.
Let me just correct a couple of things there. Number one, when we give it to the city or give it to anybody else, we don't continue to own it. I don't know how you can get to that point. Secondly, if you think that that property is really worth multiple times of what this guy is offering for it, then shame on us for even thinking this long that we would give it away to the city for free. That just proves my point.
Okay, thank you. Is there any other point? Otherwise, we need to call the question. We've heard many sides.
I got one thing to say.
Okay.
Purcell Corporation, as long as we're donating things to the city and keeping it as is, we're okay. If we try to sell a piece of property, Purcell's going to come in and object to it.
Let
They
them.
have the right of first
We'll get the
refusal
money.
or request. That will be part of the discussion that would take place after this. If this motion passed, first we
if-
have to get this motion passed, please.
If Purcell uses this right of first refusal and jumps in, let's say this offer was worth, $1. Somebody offers us $1 for the piece of property. If Purcell jumps in, they pay us the $1 instead. I don't care. I don't care who pays it to us. We're getting value for our amenity.
Okay, so we've had both sides, we've had many opinions on this. This is a really tough one, but I'm not going to read this motion again. All those in favor of the motion as written, please raise your hand. Okay, those opposed? Okay, so P&L is the only one that's in favor. The motion fails. We move on to motion 2025-40. I'm sorry.
Madam President, I move to strike from the motion 2025-40 that the city reimburse Diamond Head POA up to $5,000 for legal and other fees and costs.
Okay, so that's considered an amended motion. Is that correct on my part? Anybody have any thoughts on
I second that.
Okay, so we have a second from Trey made the motion and Nutting seconded it. Okay, so the motion is quite extensive. I think do you all have it in front of you? I don't know if you do. Okay, so as it reads, it approves the donation of properties. It has on conditions with the cost of the city reimbursement being taken out, and authorizing and instructing legal counsel to take further action. What discussion is there?
I think the discussion is pretty self-explanatory, and we've been discussing, though not this motion, throughout the last few minutes. It includes the athletic fields at Noma, playgrounds and fields at the East Rec, Twin Lakes Recreation, the whole area, stormwater drainage lots that would be identified by DHPOA staff coming from our general manager, the community center and adjacent parking, public works, maintenance yard, and airstrip and all related facilities to that land.
I'd like to see I hate to go back into this, but the maintenance yard, where we're going to give it to the city, and they're paying us $12,000, and then we're going to pay them to use it. I just can't go with that. I mean, I just can't go with giving it to them and then having them bill us for using it where they're already paying us for it.
So sometimes it helps to sweeten the pot when you're asking somebody to take over hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of bills for amenities that we're handing to them. I'm of the opinion that we are a community and people have paid for these amenities, whether it be now or 10 or 20 or 30 years ago, for these amenities to maintain in this community. That's my opinion. You can agree, you can disagree, but the reason that I added this in this motion was for that. I don't think the city's going to say we owe $10,000 a month to $1 a year they're going to let us lease this thing for. So yes, we're going to go from $1,000 a month income to not paying the property taxes or maintenance on it, and then we're going to turn around and pay $1 a year for 8,000 years to
Madam
lease this
President,
back.
I'd like to clarify that the RV park does not go to the city. Is that correct?
It's not listed, you're correct.
It's not listed. Thank you.
All right, let's go to what the assessor said these values were. The true value of the items we're listing here is $3,056,000. It's a lot of money. And how much are we going to save in a year?
A couple $100,000, I recall.
Okay, so we're going to save $190,000, and we're giving away $3 million worth of Q1. So we're going to save We're going to save $720,000 a year? I question that.
I don't think the figures are accurate. I don't have them in front of me.
I was under the impression we were going to save like $200,000 or $300,000. I think that was the number, $270,000. So we're giving away $3 million worth of assets, per the assessor, and we're going to save $270,000. Is that right?
Bill, I'd say this $3 million is only worth what somebody will pay for it.
Well, I'm just telling you what the assessor said. I mean, maybe it's $2 million. I don't know. You know.
I'd like to weigh in. I understand the simple mathematics, but I don't think it addresses at all the shape that the airport and some of these things are currently in. It's a liability. In any kind of business decisions, there's liabilities, there's assets, there's value. And we haven't talked at all about the liabilities or what it would take us to bring these facilities up to what they need to be. So I think that should be considered as well.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Yes. You know, there are some amenities that seem to be crying for the city to be the owner of them, like Twin Lakes perhaps, or the ball field, something like that. But when you have income-producing properties, like the maintenance yard, like the airport, like the community center, they're going to turn the community center back into an income-producing proposition. It doesn't make nearly as much sense for the city to take them. The city is going to make money when they lease the airport to Mississippi State. Plain and simple, it's going to create an income stream for them. And to you airport people here today, you know, careful what you wish for. I hope it works out for you. But things are going to change at the airport in a serious way. The city is going to turn that into a moneymaker. The city is going to save the expense that they're paying us on the maintenance yard. And they're going to, like I say, they're going to turn the other things as best they can into
So,
moneymakers
Bob,
as well.
Can I ask, why is it okay for you to speculate but nobody else on the board can?
This isn't speculation.
Okay.
This is the reason why
I didn't know you do the city's plans. Thank you, then.
the city originally in their mission, in their proposal, their resolutions, had a question mark regarding the airport. That question mark was because the discussions with Mississippi State were still ongoing. Those discussions are, I mean, I've talked with Mississippi State. I've had meetings with them. I know exactly what's going on out there. They're going to turn that into a big moneymaker. And yet, we're going to give it away for free. And it's, you know, you have to put things that, like the maintenance yard and other income-producing properties in one category, true parks and rec type properties in a different category at all.
Bob, are you aware that all these POA members are also members of the city of Diamond Head?
Doesn't matter.
And that, I'm talking, and that if the airport goes to making money, they might lower their taxes and they can still have all the amenities. All we're having is a different landlord. We wish we could keep these amenities, but the people aren't going to pay their dues because the covenant's expired. We can beg, we can do anything. A certain number are not going to pay because they're what they were referred to at a previous meeting, and they're not going to pay. But these things we can't afford to have with the amount of money we've got. It would be wonderful if we could keep the community center and spend $250,000 and improve it and make it a wonderful gala place and pay the taxes on it. We are now a for-profit, and we have to pay $250,000 approximately this year that we didn't have to pay up until now. We cannot afford to keep these things. We don't have the money. All we're doing is giving it to a different landlord. All us wonderful people of the city and the POA of Diamond Head are still going to have access to it without changing it. The reason you're so fixated on this maintenance yard is very interesting, Bob. I don't need to go any further than that, but we cannot afford to look after these things with the money we have coming in.
Okay, are there other comments that we need to make about this motion?
I wasn't finished with my comment.
I'm sorry,
I would like to make, hold on, Mr. Nutting interrupted in the middle of my comment. Let me finish my comment. Remember this. This step of donating amenities is the first step toward eliminating the POA. And maybe that's a good idea, maybe it's a bad idea, but it needs to be carefully thought about, put on the table, and honestly talked about and planned. There's no business plan here. There's just no business planning. We don't know what we're going to do a year from now, 2 years from, 3 years from now. We don't know if we can support this amenity or not, or that amenity. There's just no planning. We don't plan. We react to things, and we reacted to the city's resolution by saying, sure, city, whatever you want, we'll give it to you. I can't even, there's no way to change the minds up on this podium. Every time we tried to slow this down and talk about it, it was, no, move faster, give it away faster. How come we haven't given it away yet? Let's give it away yesterday. And that's where we are here.
Bob, you're misrepresenting the people on this board.
Let me finish. You can
Then you've got to
respond.
quit saying such negatory things towards the other board members who worked very hard on this
The
mission.
POA is being intentionally crippled, and someday it will have no choice but to liquidate assets. And that's just the fact of life. And when that happens, we're either going to become something nice that you like, or we're going to become something very much different, like a derelict golf course, like the old St. Andrews Golf Community in Ocean Springs. It's going to be one of those two things, and we have no idea which, because we're not thinking about it, we're not talking about it, we're not planning for it. You know, some members who are making this decision can quit and walk away from this POA right now. If you're in an expired area, you can say, I've had enough of these stupid decisions, I don't like what you're doing, I don't like the fees, I can walk away. If you're in Glen Eagle like I am, or if you're in the Oaks or the condos, you can't. You're stuck. And we are stuck with the bad decisions of this board, and I don't think they have the best interests of the POA in mind. I think they have the best interests of the city in mind. At the very minimum, if the POA wants to give away $2 or $3 million in amenities, they should at the same time release the rest of us who are bound by covenants from paying from forced payment. And that doesn't require a vote, that doesn't require an amenity or a covenant amendment. That just requires the board to say we will not mandatorily charge any member going forward. Do that, and you can give away whatever you want.
You are not, I'm sorry, I'm really going to have to disagree with the fact that you're representing us as having opinions that are totally opposite to yours. I think we all have Diamond Head in mind, but we also need to keep an eye on that big picture that you're talking about, and we need to move forward with some changes so we can afford to get there. If we don't make some of these financial changes now, and we keep dragging our heels, we won't be able to plan for the future, and we have got to look ahead. This cannot survive as it is. I think everybody understands we cannot base our membership on property owners anymore. But we have to get in a financial place, and so I disagree with you in your approach. I think the ultimate goal is to get the right place. We need to call this motion. We really appreciate your opinion. You've shared it extremely well. You've educated the people that are present, those that are watching on YouTube. I appreciate that, but we need to move forward and make a decision. If we don't get making decisions, no decisions will get made, and we will all be here a year from now arguing about whether we want to do it this way or that way.
Well, here's my...
May I make a comment, please? The amenities were created for the people of Diamond Head to use when everyone paid their dues. They were all members. By donating these amenities to the city, the people of Diamond Head will be able to use those amenities. And I want to also say one thing. My husband and I own 3 properties. One is in perpetuity. The other 2 have expired. We have continued to pay on all 3 of those properties.
Here's my final comment. I'll be quiet. This isn't a question of should the city get amenities. I don't care if they get them or not. The question is, should they pay for something for them? That's the question. I would love to see them.
They're going to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I would love to see them take it all, but I'd like to see them pay us for the value that they're getting from us. And every time, and I agree that that needs to be done to go forward, but every time the amenity committee or anybody else wanted to stop and say, hey, let's try to find a buyer for this or that, the board consistently said, no, don't do it. I came before the board asking for authority to try to market these properties. I was told no. And that's why we don't have any other buyers for any of this stuff, because you didn't let us look for the other buyers.
Okay, it is.
If you were to buy, if you were to sell, then the members, the residents of the city will not have use of those amenities.
And the other point is, and the other point is, if the city buys it, they're just gonna tax us to get money to buy it, and then we already own it, so for them taking it over, it's just a different landlord.
Madam President, I think it's
Yes.
time to call the question.
I was going to say, it's time to call the question. Okay, so, that was Blackwood and you. Okay. Okay, so the motion is in front of you. We've discussed all the parts and pieces of it. It does include the removal of the legal fees. What do you mean? I thought we amended it.
We have to vote on the.
We have to vote on calling it for a vote.
You're going to vote to vote?
We have to vote to call.
Okay, all right. All those in favor of calling the question? Raise your hand. All those opposed? Okay, so now we've called the question. Now we can do the motion, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Amended
The
motion.
amendment,
The amended motion.
the amendment.
The amended motion. This is the amended motion. Amendment on the
We
motion.
didn't vote on the amendment.
Yeah, we did. They're saying we did. Let's do it. Okay, so now we need to vote on 2025-40. All those in favor of the motion, raise your right hand. All those opposed? Mr. Pinal opposes.
Blackwood, too.
And Blackwood.
On Blackwood, I'm sorry, I didn't see that, Bill. I'm very sorry. So the motion carries. Do we have any POA members' comments on non-agenda items?
We do not.
Okay. Then the next open board meeting will be Monday, November 17th at 6 p.m. here in City Council chambers. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Tubbs and Trey? Okay. The meeting is adjourned.
Let's go.